Hello, everybody out there. Thanks for coming back and seeing us one more time here before we end the year. Coming up on Christmas. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, has a good holiday. But before we get to all that, we got to crown a champion in the SMRI Productions Elite Series. Our final four tonight are Tyler Fodey, Tate Lytle, Garrison Hogan, and Ethan Burrell. Tate went up and took the pole there inside of 10 seconds to go. Our sponsors for tonight are C2 Freight, Blue Egg Marketing, and Response Energy. Thanks for all that they've done throughout the year, bringing us up to speed, helping us out every step of the way. And it was just announced today we've got Mrs. Goodies Goodies coming on next year. So they will be a big league sponsor next year. Want to give a shout out to SMRI Productions. They won't be back with us next season. So give them a good shout out. It's been awesome to have them with us here this season. And the championship race sponsor tonight is Days Going By, Vintage NASCAR Apparel. Check them out on Twitter. If you want something old that's brand new, they got what you need. So Nick, what are you thinking for tonight, man? Is anybody going to be able to beat Tate there? You got the pool looking like Garrison Hogan did not make a time. He's going to roll off 22nd. Ethan Burrell is going to be 3rd, and Fodey is going to be 6th.
Yeah, we talked to Tate at the tail end of last week's race. He said he's probably going to run the worst out of the four. He didn't have high hopes for this race, but goes out there, sits on the pole by 0.5 of a second. So we'll see if he's able to keep it up there. But yeah, looking forward to closing out this season, man. It's been fun on the booth with you. This championship four is stacked. I think any of these four guys could go out and win it. And we watched last night's Truck Series race, and it came down to just who got on pit road the best. We saw a lot of mistakes on pit road, guys speeding, and that's ultimately what decided that championship. So just one mistake, could cost these guys their season tonight. But here we come down to the green.
Yeah, and a new rule in effect tonight is they have to wait until the restart zone over here, basically real life NASCAR, and they can't go under the line. So Tate Lytle is off. We are green.
See them already fanning out, 3 and 4 wide, going through the dog leg back there.
Tate, Ethan have gotten away. That's 2 of our championship 4, the 1st and 2nd. Tate will come down to lead lap 1, however, just like Nick pointed out here. Oh, we've got a caution.
Trying to see where it is. See if any of our championship contenders were involved. Looks like it was a 32.
Wow, Garrison Hogan, that happened right in front of him. Great move by Garrison. Just a chance you take when you don't get your qualifying time like you want. Make a mistake, got to start the back. Dodged a bullet there. But just like you were pointing out there, Nick, anything can happen. Laps led, how you run. Tate could lead every lap and lose it on the last lap, and he will not be the champion.
And, we didn't even have time to even really talk about it, but I was going to mention, starting, not even getting a lap down is, killer for Garrison Hogan because, stuff like that happens right in front of you, and, sometimes you miss them, sometimes you don't. You could get caught up in something right off the bat here. So, I mean, this could be pretty big for Garrison Hogan's championship race, having to come from 23rd place.
Yeah, and especially with a track like this track is very unique. And so the way we restart is out in the middle of the corner, and that really boxes them up on the restart, and you get them fanned out 5 and 6 wide down into 1, and you're at the mercy of everybody around you if you're running 20th. I don't believe there was any contact there with anybody, though, looking at that wreck. So who was our truck champion? I believe I read somewhere, was it Bronson Stafford?
Yeah, it was Bronson took it home. You know, him and Shane were running up front pretty much all night, and like I mentioned, it just came down to pit stops at the end. You know, a lot of guys. I tuned in to watch, and a lot of guys, you know, getting down the pit road too hot, trying to get a little too much on those old tires at Atlanta, and you know, just overcooked it. I saw about 4 or 5 speeding penalties in one round of green flag stop, so it was pretty nuts. And you know, that's all it takes. I mean, you have a great season, comes down to that last final pit stop, and you just try to get too much coming on pit road and throw away your championship hopes.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, I believe Bronson Stafford and Shane are going to be moving to the Cup Series for next season. So those two guys are good racers. Me and Nick have raced with them a lot, you know, since we've been on iRacing. That's 2 more guys that are going to be battling for wins. These wins are going to be way harder to come by in all of the Elite Series next season. Looks like we are doubling up here, getting ready to go again. This time our championship, 2 of our championship 4 will line up in the first row. Tate now has control.
It's a long way down to this restart zone here. Pace car pulls off, but you got another half a lap to go before you get down here to the restart zone.
Yeah, it's very tricky. You know, this is not something that you have on iRacing quite a bit, is to, you know, he's basically got 3/4 of a lap where he's got to keep pace, you know, and that way the restart's clean behind him.
And this is a little different for race officials too. You know, our off-track admin, you know, they got to call the restart zone now. We typically don't do that. You know, so they got to pay attention when the leader goes here tonight. Can't go too early, can't go too late.
Looks like we might be getting our first restart call. It looks like Andrew Rucker might have went below the line there. Not sure if they're going to call it because he didn't gain anything and got right back in line.
And Tooker was able to get a great start in third behind Tate. Got by the 37 of Burrell.
We have 3 of the first 4 spots now occupied by Championship 4 drivers. As Fodey has made his way into P4.
Looks like we're having some blinking issues, but hopefully we can get that sorted out here for you guys in a sec. Looks like it stabilized. But what were you going to say, Chris?
Who was your pick to win this championship?
Well, last week I picked Tate. Hopefully I don't jinx him here. I mean, it looks like he's off to a good start, but I don't know. Who do you got?
I picked Tate way back when the playoffs started. Fodey's really good in the series in this car. You know, Fodey won the championship in our A season. It's going to be tough to beat him. Fodey always seems to find a little bit more at the end of these things, but I'm going to stick with Tate.
I don't think he won that. I think Gerald won that championship, if I recall.
Gerald won the Cup championship. Fodey won the B championship.
Oh, I thought you said the A series. I thought you meant the Cup car.
No, I was talking about the B car. It looks like they're going to get a no call on that restart as well. I like the call. Rucker got back in line, didn't make any pass, and didn't improve his position down there. Looks like Tate is kind of driven away with Tooker. Now, if you're Tate here, do you sit here and you think, okay, I'm just going to let Tooker go. I'm not racing Tooker for a championship. Or do you want to keep control of the race? I mean, I think right now he'll probably stay in front of him, but if Tooker gets on his bumper, I would almost wonder if Tate would be smarter just to move over and let him go.
Yeah, you know, I think, like, you know, if I'm Tate and Tooker's a little bit faster than me, closes in, you know, you got to think, I think you got to think big picture, you know, realize, you know, that 19 car, you're not racing them. Your main focus is the 3 other guys you're competing for this championship for, so, you know, letting somebody else go that's not in the championship is not going to hurt you.
But you do want to win. You know, all these guys are for this championship. If they want to win, I'm sure these 4 drivers have thought and came into this race thinking all week, you know, it is going to take a win to win the championship.
And, you know, the other thing is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
These are the 4 best drivers all season. And you know, when you put Tate and you put Apparel and you put Fodey up there, and it's no surprise to see Tooker. If it wasn't for missing a few races and whatnot, Tooker would probably be one of these final 4.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we always see Tooker running up front, but you know, the other thing is like Tooker, the 2 with Tate Lytle, 37 Ethan Burrell. I mean, they're all somewhat teammates. I think the 19 and the 37 are, but you know, they're all pretty good friends with one another, teammates in the Cup Series. So you know, does a 19 play a role in one of these guys winning? You know, how does he race them? You know, does he just let them go? Does he, you know, take it easy on them? You know,
I feel like Tooker probably will race them tonight the same way he's raced them all season. I think Tooker's one of the most level guys there is out there, and if you get to him, he'll let you go. And if he's faster, you know, he'll eventually make that pass. I think Tooker's goal is to win the race, and if you can't win the race, it's going to be. I don't think Tooker will race any different tonight than he has all season.
Three of our 4 contenders running in the top 5, and then 56 Garrison Hogan started 22nd, already up in the top 10 on lap 15. You see how his traffic is working right now, trying to work over the 64 Rucker.
Yeah, I almost wonder if he didn't maybe wreck in qualifying. The speed looks like it's in that car. It just maybe tried to get a little too much in qualifying, and it cost him. He's worked a lot of traffic, and I'm sure as he's coming through, so a lot of these guys are going to realize that he's in the championship pool. Like, you know, he's going to get, when you're back there in the pack, in the thick of it, if you're one of the 4, you get a little extra room. These guys don't, you know, nobody wants to be part of the story running for 10th or 15th. You don't want to be the reason that some guy gets wrecked, especially outside the top 10. But it looks like Garrison's got good pace in that car. Yeah, we've talked about Tooker here, but another guy that's not in our championship 4 that's having a steady race right now is Gerald Campbell, Trey Holmes, Wyatt's there in 7th. I mean, we've got some guys up here. Vincent Isabella's in 10th. We've seen Trey and Wyatt kind of come on strong here the last 5 or 6 races, and you know, put themselves in the top 10 week in, week out. They're building for next season. Those guys might be a threat next season to maybe be where these 4 that we're going to talk about the most tonight are.
Yeah, I believe it was a couple weeks ago we talked to Trey for first time. I believe he got his first podium. Forget what track it was at, but you know, definitely showing improvement in that 88 car.
I'm not sure if it's been announced or not yet, but we can confirm tonight too. Nick and I will be back for the A season that kicks off sometime in January. So I can't wait to get back up here, Nick. I've really enjoyed the booth. I'm looking to get, you know, some more races if I can. It's fun up here, especially calling these things with you.
Yeah, it's been fun. You know, we've seen some good battles all season, a little bit of drama. Nice to not be in the drama, be in 3 wide situations, be up here watching it.
Yeah, drama's always a lot of fun when you're watching it and you're not a part of it. Kind of getting strung out here at the front, though. You got a nice little gap between Tate and Tooker. Nice little gap between Tooker and Ethan. Fodey's there. Gerald's there. I did not expect this tonight to see this much space between the cars. You know, we had a caution-free race last week. That was pretty cool to be a part of and to see go down. Obviously not going to get that tonight as we've already had 1 yellow, but it's looking like, you know, it's setting up to be a pretty clean race.
And, you know, everybody in the top 5 is pretty much running flip-flopping lap times, but, you know, Tate's slowly been pulling away. You know, the lead's up to about 8 tenths now. 2nd and a half back to Ethan Burrell in 3rd. So, we'll see who's been saving their tires the best here. 'Cause, you know, 22 laps in. See Tooker sliding a little bit out of turn 2 over there.
And then we have a guy out here who doesn't run every week. I don't think he's ran a whole lot of B races at all this season. Scott Crump's out here. He's in 15th. That's where he started. It's kind of where he's running. He's a Cup regular, and I think he runs quite a bit of the Truck Series as well. Just shy of making the Final Four in the Cup Series. He was about, I don't know, what, 70, 100 feet from being the 4th guy in the Cup Final Four. Chad Frankenfield just moved around Rucker to move into the top 10. That seems to be the first kind of group of battles on the track, as Garrison's closing in on Trey Holmes for 6th. So Garrison might be the best out of the Final Four once he gets up here with these guys. He had to come from a long ways back, and he's getting closer and closer to that top 5.
Yeah, you know, judging off his lap times, and he's in a little bit of traffic. He's been running times, you know, comparable to what the top 5 are running. The only problem is he's, you know, almost 4.5 seconds back from the leader, Tate Lytle, right now.
Yeah, but if he's got the speed in the car, you know, even if they don't get a yellow, he's got plenty of time to get there. Pit stops, you're gonna have, you know, we're gonna have pit stops at some point tonight.
I like that this Days Gone By scheme on that 64 Rucker. Kind of almost looks like a throwback to somebody. I don't know who it is, but
yeah, it looks like Rucker's
maybe like a Mark Martin throwback.
I can kind of see the Mark Martin in there. I'm not sure if that was what it was designed for or not, but it looks like he's backing up. Might have worn the tires out, and right there in front of him is Matthew Weeks. Matthew Weeks has shown some speed at times this year. He's a guy that could possibly be in the Final Four for next season. But I want to talk about the guy right in front of David Westergreen, right there, in between Weeks and Frankenfield. I am sure he'll take that every day of the week.
Yeah, you know, started 11th, running 11th, so hasn't gained or lost anything, and it's a pretty solid night so far. Car looks pretty clean. The Chad Frankenfield in front of him, a little bit of right rear damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that's from, unless, yeah, like you said, he just got the fence.
See him go way up the track in turn 1 and 2, running that high groove.
Yeah, one thing I noticed since we just recently got this new build of Phoenix, last couple of months. I've noticed that it has really widened the groove out here. You've got a good 2.5 grooves where you can run. You don't have to be pinned right to the bottom or right to the top. As you can see, Chad is, I don't know if that high works, but looks like a little bit of nose damage on Chad as well right there.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was on a stack up on the restart. I'm not sure. That's decent damage there. Looks like he's holding up David Westergreen just a little bit.
Oh man, he's way up. He's running almost on the fence over there in 1 and 2.
Just trying to search for speed, I guess.
You got the 12 of Westergreen and the 11 of Matthew Weeks trying to work him over right now.
Ooh, Westergreen, you see how loose he got coming back across the bump? Car got pretty out of shape. Westergreen thought he was going to go down there and gain a spot. Looks like he might end up giving a spot up to Weeks. Now Weeks is thinking, now watch this, I'm going to show you how to make a pass here. Whether he does or not, it remains to be seen, but that's what he's thinking. He's thinking that he can pass Chad. Right now, this is the best battle on the track. I don't want to make you think we're, not talking about something with the Final Four, but this is the battle right now. Everybody else is kind of strung out.
A battle for 5th place as well. Garrison Hogan trying to make the pass on Gerald Campbell. Crack the top 5.
Car's got a lot of speed. Kind of surprised Gerald's going to fight it. I mean, Garrison has came from a long way back.
Yeah, you know, that was like probably about 10 laps ago. We talked about him being 4.5 back. He is now 3.6, 3.5.
Yeah.
So, you know, even passing Gerald, he's making up some time. So maybe that 56 might be the best car tonight. Just has to get there.
Yeah, I mean, you've kind of overcame the qualifying deficit at this point. You know, pit boxes do matter on iRacing, especially if you're like, you know, Tate got that first pit box. First pit box, you can, you know, get off pit road a little quicker. It helps you. But outside of his pit box being pit box 22, he should be all right. It's not like you can run into people on pit road on iRacing like you can in real life if somebody's parked in a box crooked. Looks like Fodey is closing up here on Ethan just a little bit. And then coming behind them, the fastest car on the track, Garrison Hogan, is closing in on them.
And 0.2 quicker than our leader, Tate Lytle, that last time by. Now that he's got a little bit more clean track, and he's got, you know, something to shoot for now. He sees 2 championship contenders right up there in his windshield.
Like you talked about with all these guys, you know, Burrell and Fodey are teammates. They're teammates with Garrison as well, right? Are they all teammates?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep, Pro Edge.
And Tate no longer drives with that team. However, Tate did used to drive that 56.
And I think they're still like in a little affiliation there, you know.
I don't know if I'd call it. I think they're friendly. They're more friendly than with others. Ooh, did Tate just hit the wall going into 3? I think Tate just hit the wall on entry into 3.
They might have kissed it a little bit. Doesn't like the car's hurt right now. No crinkles, no scrapes.
I wonder if that tells me that maybe he sees Garrison coming behind him, or just a lapse in judgment one time down into turn 3 or turn 1. I'm sorry. They flipped this track. I'm so, you know what? I might call 1-3 all night and 3-1.
Well, you were trying to confuse me pre-race, saying the restart zone was in turn 4, but I don't know. It's close. I guess you could say it's close to turn 4, but I wouldn't call it turn 4 personally.
On screen now, we have 3 of our 4 championship contenders. Got Fodey has caught Ethan, but there's the 56, and he's caught both of them.
And do we know how long a fuel run is here tonight?
I would say about 75, 80 laps if I had to guess.
It was probably a one-stopper.
Yeah, but when do you want to make that stop?
I think you probably want to split it right down the middle.
We're probably close to the window being open at this point.
I would think you probably want to split it right down the middle. Maybe come in a lap later than the guys you're racing. Man, 56 gets into turn 3 just so much better than these other guys. Might have more rear brake in it or something, but he was flying down in there behind Tyler Fodey.
Hey, you got to get after it. Tate's sitting out here, and he's watching this. I'm sure he sees that the 3 of them are there. Tooker separating our championship 4 here at the front right now. They've got... Oh, we've got a yellow. Oh. Looks like it's Chad Frankenfield. Here on the front stretch. I think Chad was trying to pit.
Take a look back at what happened here. Having some technical issues, so I might not be able to get it for you, but
Yeah, Chad was
I
down
don't
there trying to
know.
pit, and I think he realized he wasn't going to get the car cut left. Tried to get back on it, and Hank just ran him over. Nothing Hank could do. Chad's so slow at that point. Not real sure. I mean, I gotta think he was trying to pit, but at the same time, it looks like he just kind of decided against it when he got down there. I don't know. Very weird kind of deal, it looks like right there. But everybody's going to
Yeah.
pit here. Right on the edge of the fuel window as well, right here. Right on the edge of the fuel window. And just like you were talking about last night, Nick, you do not want to get a penalty. This pit road is one of the most tricky ones on the sim at this point now, too, with the curve. Basically, the whole pit road is a curve down here.
Yeah, coming around this corner especially, it's really hard for these drivers to see their stalls coming up because you got the big A pillar right there on your left side, and you're coming around the blind corner. Really easy to miss your pit box, get in there a little too hot.
Tate's going to hold serve with Tooker in second. Burrell third. Garrison is fourth. Fodey fifth. Chad obviously going to sit there and try to fix that damage and get out here and finish the last race of the season. But
Looks like
again,
an
this
issue
is
for
Days Going By Vintage NASCAR Apparel. They sponsored the championship race here, so go check them out on Twitter. There's one final time for the season here, for the last race that they're going to be with us for now. Might come back at a later date. SMRI Productions, Grand National Series. Shout out C2 Freight, Blue Egg Marketing, and Response Energy. How's Jeff Green running tonight? Let's get our C2 Freight Jeff Green update going on here. Looks like maybe right outside the top 10. Car's looking pretty clean.
yeah, solid night. Start 25th up to 11th, so trying to crack the top 10. Not sure what happened on that stop to guys like Trey Holmes and Westergreen, because Trey Holmes was running in 7th coming to pit road, and I don't think he was speeding or anything. Didn't have any damage. He just kind of sat there and sat there for a while.
David Westergreen's picked up nose damage somewhere. Looks like we might have had us an accident on pit road. Oh yeah, David Westergreen and Matthew Weeks here got together. It looks like Matthew Weeks was missing his stall. Saw it at the last second, tried to lock the brakes up, turn left, and Westergreen just had no clue that he was going to do that. Talk about the tricky pit road. Right there it is. Tate's now got controls. We're about ready to go green.
Yeah, unfortunate for those guys. I was going to say unfortunate, because we were talking about Westergreen having a good run, and he gets the pit road damage there, but go ahead.
Yeah, first time all our Championship 4 drivers are in the top 5 on a restart. Choker tried to time it, mistimed it a little bit, had to check up. Everybody looks clean before the line. I don't see anything that's going to draw even a look from race control. First side-by-side battle is going to be for P4 right now.
Oh, we got a wreck.
Yep, back there in the back of the field. Looks like it's Zach Evans in the 6. He collects the 44.
Michael, you see, got Crump a little out of shape there too. Jeff Green has to check up. 6 gets a little loose.
Yeah, that's Michael Goodman there in the 44. Throwback, nice looking throwback to Ken Schrader.
And a lot of guys are getting loose there from that shot coming off of, I'm sorry, not turn 4, turn 2.
Ken Schrader, or is that Ernie Irvin? I'm not sure. Could be maybe a little bit of both.
And that could have been pretty big because, you know, you see it at Phoenix here with the inside wall. Cars just shoot right back up the track in the traffic and collects a lot more guys than that wreck did. But looks like it was pretty much a 2-car incident.
Like you said, Scott Crump got a little sideways there too. I wonder if maybe on fresh tires, first lap or two, the car is pretty loose on corner exit. Looks like, is that Josh Robin getting the lucky dog here? He's 22 laps down if that's the case, but never say never, right?
Yeah, you know, every lap helps. He was still, I think he was still in his bus or something when we went green out here.
Yeah, overslept, missed the start.
Yeah.
So Tate has led, I believe, every lap so far. Tooker's been second. Obviously, the big story right now is Garrison. He's driven from 22nd, didn't get to make a lap, all the way up to P4. Probably the best of the 4 if I had to pick a favorite right now or pick somebody to be the fastest car right now. I think it's Garrison.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So, if you're Tate here, do you think about taking the top and then trying to pin Burrell on the bottom, or do you not want Hogan getting a good start behind you?
Yeah, I think if at this point, I think the other 3 know that Garrison's probably the fastest car. So I think, you know, you're going to try to keep him back there if you can. That's my logic anyway. And let's see, you know, they are friendly. I don't know how friendly. Like, I mean, if it was you and I out there, I would probably pick the top. As would you. You know, because we're teammates, we're friends. Well, we're not teammates. We're just, you know, we're really good friends. So I think it just depends. I think right now all 4 of them are pretty good friends. I don't know how tight they are with Fodey, but we know Tooker and Tate and Garrison and Burrell are all pretty friendly. So. Looks like we are going to go green this time. Tate has taken the bottom. Again, just such a long time for Tate to have control here. We saw Tooker try to time the start last time and kind of misjudged it. We'll see if maybe he's timed out a little better this time. Tate's off. Ooh, the 56 and the 37 touch a little bit right at the line.
And not a great start for Hogan up there on the top.
It's going to be okay, I think.
Yeah, it looked like he might have lost. It looked like he was possibly going to lose that spot to Fodey down there, but able to get that good drive off. Maybe get third from Burrell here.
Everybody takes a little bit of the dog leg.
Still side by side for third. Hogan's got the run.
Yeah, if these cars, like I think they are, take off a little bit free, we'll see. He should maybe get this pass completed, but at the same time, every corner the tires come up a little bit, and the car is probably a little better. Oh, Jeff Green just got turned in the middle of the pack. Oh, I
it's
think
big.
Green hit him.
Yeah. About 5 or 6. Oh, somebody's flipping over there. Josh Robbins upside down against the inside wall over there.
Yeah, I think Vincent just missed the bottom there a little bit. Got up into Jeff, and Jeff got the wall, and then there came Wester Green. Wester Green had a great run going tonight, and had that pit road incident, and now you get back there in traffic, you get caught up in that. The 71, the 89, the 8, the 32, the 44 again.
Yeah, we might have had that announcer's jinx on Wester Green talking about him running 11th, 12th, good run, and nothing but trouble after that for him.
Look at the lag and netcode on that Josh Robin machine. That is not something good with the sim. The 71 was almost stopped. The 8 was almost stopped. They didn't hit. It was all netcode, and it just launched the 8 car. Absolutely incredible there with the 8 car.
Oh, yeah. Man.
So we got the... Try to wrap up everybody who got damage here. We've got the 8 of Josh Robin, the 12 of David Westergreen, the 89 of Brent Jones, the 71 of David Carpenter, the 44 of Michael Goodman, 32 of Dustin Dewar, Zach Evans snuck through there, didn't hit anything. And then, of course, the first car that got spun was Jeff Green with help from Vincent Isabella. So the big one here at Phoenix.
I don't think Jeff Green's car is tore up too bad. I mean, he just kind of backed it into the fence a little bit.
Yeah, rear damage is so hit or miss. Like, you can get a little bit of rear damage and it could kill the car. You can get a lot and it not. Like, this one place, the sim just seems like it's kind of, I don't know, the right front damage is kind of rough looking. I think that the speed's going to be knocked out of that car. Looks like our front runners are saving fuel here. Are they thinking that they're not going to stop again the way it's going?
I don't know. I mean, you see all these big wrecks happen at the back. Would you want to pit?
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to pit right now, but I have to think at some point you're going to want to come down and get another set of tires. At this point, too, I think Tate is working against that 56 or working with that 37 because he has taken the top for this restart. So the first time all race, he's picking a different lane.
Yeah, I think you're right. As soon as that 56 is in position to start on the bottom, Tate took the top.
One thing that will be interesting here, now that the inside lane is going to be, not have the control car, this is the restart, I think, where we could see a penalty handed out for somebody going below the line. Because Fodey and those guys who is that? Is that Dylan in the 03? Yeah, Dylan Thomas. Those guys are going to see the leader take off and go. Tooker is going to have to react to when the leader goes. They're going to be able to go a little quicker. So we will see what happens here with this restart. Tate is gone. Ooh. Good start for Tooker. Great start for Tooker. He might have took off a little bit before Tate. Not saying that it should be a penalty. I'm just saying it looked like he launched first, and then Tate went and Tooker kind of lifted. hesitated, but that's going to be a lead
Might
change.
be able to clear him here. Not quite.
That's as good as you could hope for from a takeoff.
Way better than I can do, I'll tell you that. Starting second's tough.
Gerald Campbell trying to be on the outside of Fodey. Maybe try to work to the outside of the 56 off of 4 as well. Not quite going to get there.
Yeah, Gerald's after it, man. He doesn't care that these guys are in the championship 4. I mean, he wants to win this race too.
That's very true.
I thought he was going to get there.
Way back at New Hampshire, seems like a lifetime ago, but Gerald was in position to finish second at New Hampshire, and one of our championship 4 had contact with him, and it wrecked Gerald on the last lap, so he doesn't care. If anybody out there doesn't care at all about the Final 4, it would be Gerald. 3 wide back there in the middle of the pack. Andrew Rucker making a big move.
See, 31, Gerald Campbell getting underneath Garrison Hogan for 4th. But yeah, mess back here too.
Gerald slides up. I think Fodey's there. Yeah, not quite going to get clear.
Looks like Fodey might be able to get to his inside here. Not quite.
Yeah, and if you're Fodey, does that frustrate you? Like this guy that's not in the championship 4 now being between you?
Yeah, I think so. Especially when you can't complete the pass, and you see them driving off farther and farther ahead of you, falling farther behind.
I mean, now Fodey's got Scott Crump all over him.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Gerald's looking pretty sporty on these short runs. I mean, you saw him get a great run through 3 and 4 and got to the back bumper of the 56.
I mean, and this battle for the lead is really tightening up too. Tooker is all over the back of Tate. We got to re-rack them, and these guys decided it was go time.
I think this is the most pressure Tate's had all night.
Yeah, right now everybody's kind of taken to the bottom and not using that second. Scott Crump's really sideways. What a save. What a save by Scott Crump back there in the middle of the corner.
But, I think this is the first kind of re-rack after a long run on tires. These guys know what the car is going to do on this longer run, so they have a better idea of what they can and can't do on these restarts here.
Yeah, I wonder if the guys that were using that second lane abused the tires, and that's why everybody's kind of went to the bottom here. Or maybe they've decided that that's what happened. Maybe they burned the right front off and decided it was because they were running a different lane. We're starting to see that separation that we had in the first round. Tyler Fodey being the worst of our championship 4 right now, running in P6. I think he's going to need some yellows, some quick pit stops, and some good restarts if he's going to have a shot to win this championship.
Yeah, and I mean, 6th isn't a bad run by any means, but, when 3 other guys you're racing up there in top 5 all night, it's pretty tough. I think, especially when it comes down in this format, I think, you know, you pretty much have to win the race to win the championship. You know, it's very rare, I think, that you see the champion not win the race.
Yeah, and Fodey looks like he's going to make that pass there on Gerald to move himself into 5th now.
And a couple other guys behind him, you know, you see Gerald there, Scott Crump. I mean, we talked about him farther back a little bit earlier, running mid-teens. He's right there on back bumper. Gerald Rucker, saw him struggling earlier. He's back up there in the top 10. Vincent Isabella as well. And Hank Steinmiller running 10th. We saw him start 23rd, have that issue with Chad, go back to the back, and he's back up in the top 10. So.
Oh, we're 3 wide. Scott Crump right in the middle. Did he and Gerald get together? I think Rucker made a late dive. Oh, here we go. Vincent's underneath Rucker.
Oh.
Crump's into the wall. Man, just what we were talking about, them group of guys there, Nick. That was a great jinx.
Talking about them all having good runs, and they go down in there 3 wide and turn 3 and get into each other. Scott Crump got the worst of the deal, running being the car on the top.
They were 3 wide down in turn 3 and 4, and 1 and 2. Like I don't know. You would think after the first time when you almost crashed, you ain't gonna do it in the next corner, but they went right down the next corner and did it again.
You see Tate, you know, really pulling away now. He's up to 6/10 on Tooker.
Yeah, but I think we're getting close to the part of the run where Garrison was really, really fast. We've got, you know, what, 15, 20 on the tires.
And you see him closing in on the back of Burrell.
And another thing that we might, you know, be overlooking here is when you're in traffic like that, when you start 22nd, you can't make the pace for the first, you know, part of the run. He's always in traffic, so you're always lifting early. So you're taking better care of the tires. Maybe that's why he was better over the longevity of the run. Maybe we won't see that now because he's obviously up here at the track position and can make that pace.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, you know, we talked about him running 4.5 seconds behind the leader, so you're obviously giving up a lot of time in traffic. So maybe you're right.
I believe Gerald hit the wall. Gerald Campbell hit the wall a couple laps ago. He's going to get Vincent Isabella getting ready to make the pass here. And I believe some of these guys, like Vincent, came and got tires on one of those cautions. So that shows you how much tires mean when you come get them. I think Vincent is on a little fresher tires than the leaders. Oh, Gerald's in the wall again right here off of 4, or off of 2. Not sure if there was contact from Vincent Isabella or not. So these guys out here are driving away a little bit. I think at this point, if there's a caution, you're going to pit, obviously. So we will see what happens from here on out. The battle for second looks like it's getting a little tighter. It's all 4 of them there, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. All this, like, has been most of the night. It's going on about 3/4 of a second behind Tate, our race leader, and currently would be champion if the race ended like this. Ethan Burrell goes through to 2nd. I think Tooker's going to let them all through. Tooker just went down into turn 3 there and just gave it up to all the championship drivers. And now down here into turn 1, he moves down and he's going to let Fodey go as well. So our championship 4 are now running 1, 2, 3, 4 for the first time tonight. Man, that takes a lot for somebody to pull over from 2nd to drop all the way to 5th. I can't say I would have made the same move that Tooker just made right there. What do you think, Nick? Could you have pulled over from second to drop to fifth?
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty tough, but you know, I mean, one thing you can do is, you know, let them race for it up there and try to save your tires a little better than them. Maybe come back to them a little bit later.
They are closing in a little bit on Tate at this point as well. Garrison, I think, has got the speed again. Like, I think it's just long run speed. Garrison has got it. Because he is all over the back of Ethan right now for second. They've got a little gap to Fodey. They're both closing in. Ethan and Garrison are closing in on Tate.
And I think, you know, with all the yellows, I believe we can go to the end now. Because it was closed before all that string of yellows there. I think they can make it.
Yeah, I think fuel is no longer a question. These guys are going to make it. It just, man, at this point, if there's a caution, I'd come get the tires. We've seen Vincent Isabella, I'm pretty sure on fresher tires, has driven all the way up to 7th. Or 6th now, excuse me.
Yeah, and they had 5 sets in the pits, so no shortage on tires tonight. I'd say come get them every chance you can.
I do think, though, they probably are only going to pit one more time.
I believe so too. You're coming down to 40 to go. Not a lot of time left in this one. This one's time's ticking down pretty quick here.
One thing that just happened that we didn't talk about when it happened, Garrison is now through to second, and he is closing right up on Tate. This is going to be the first time tonight that one of these championship drivers outside of Tate is trying to, you know, put pressure on Tate. Tate's had Tooker, and that's, you know, Tooker being there is one thing, but now that he's going to have another guy that can win this title pulling up on his back bumper. At this point, I don't think we'll see any contact. It'll be straight up, but if we get another 25, 30 laps, you know, and Garrison's still behind him, we might see full contact here in Phoenix.
Yeah, we're getting pretty strung out now. And a lot of you guys have damage back here, so we're not all packed up like we were a little bit earlier. So it's, you know, the chances of a caution, I think, are looking pretty slim the more we get strung out here.
Yeah, and another thing that's happened too since that last restart is we've seen full contact a couple times where people have went up and hit the wall, forced people to check up and everything. That really strung it out as well. We might be getting ready to get a change at third. It looks like Fodey might be trying to work on passing Ethan. One thing I'm surprised by is Tooker falling off as far as he has. This is the worst he's looked all night. I wonder if fuel is closer than is Tooker sitting there trying to save fuel? Could that be what Tooker is doing?
I don't know. It doesn't sound like he's trying to save fuel. I don't know if he's just trying to save his tires a little better than these guys, or he's almost back in the clutches of who's that behind him? Vincent Isabella for 6, yeah. So Vincent having a good run. I mean, mentioned it earlier. He was running about 10th, but moving up.
Well, I'm pretty sure that he, you know, took tires as well.
Whoa, got a little loose on entry there, but yeah, Fodey putting some pressure on Burrell here for third.
Yeah, we got 2 of our championship 4 racing for the lead right here, closed up together. Got a gap, and then the other 2 racing for third. These 2 groups of championship 4, like, I mean, Fodey's got to be thinking if he's got a shot at this, he's got to get around Ethan now, because he's seen how fast the 56 is on the long run. If the 56 gets around the 2, oh, look at the 56 dive it into 3. I thought he was going to run over Tate.
Trying to get that run off the top. Not going to work this time.
Most pressure Tate has felt all night long right here. He is just so good on corner entry, getting into the corner. Here it is again, go down in turn 1. Didn't break quite as late that time. I think he thought the same thing we did. He thought maybe he was going to run over Tate that last time. He was like, I don't want to do that. Fodey's still trying to work over Ethan back there behind him for third. It's about a second and a half to the battle for third from the battle for first.
And these 2 battles are pretty similar right now. I mean, Fodey ran down Ethan, and Hogan ran down Tate Lytle for the lead, but neither have been able to really make any moves to make a pass yet.
So hard to pass out here. Oh, is the 56 going to try to get to the inside? Not there. I honestly believe what the 56 wants is he wants to get to the top. He's going to show low every time down the dog leg. Going to show like he's going to go to the bottom. I think at one point he's going to wait, and Tate's going to kind of cover the bottom a little bit down into 1, and that's when the 56 is going to try to get to his outside. I don't think he has any intention of trying to make this pass on the bottom.
Yeah, you know, I think especially at this point in the run with how tight these cars are on these old tires, I think you're not going to be able to complete that pass on the bottom. I think it's just too tight. You can't carry the speed down there right now at this point. So I think you're right. I think he's going to have to make this pass on the top in 1 and 2.
We do have some pit stops that have started. The 11 is pitted. I believe the 64 is now. I wonder if maybe the fuel window, are they going to have to pit? I'm telling you, I think Tooker backed off to save fuel.
Yeah, he fell way off. I mean, he's 4.5 seconds off the lead right now, and you're right. We haven't, you know, he's been up front matching pace with Tate pretty much all night.
Oh, the 56 got great drive off of 4.
This might be it.
No, he needed. Oh, he's going to try it on the bottom. No, he wants Tate to think he's going to try it down there. That's what that was. That was, hey, look, I'm going to the bottom, but Tate's not taking the bait. I think what Garrison needs to do is get to his inside a couple times. Show him that you're going to try to go down there. Show him that you're willing to try to drive in there and get on the bottom. If you show him that you'll actually get down in there, then he might be willing to cover it more. But so far, it's been pretty easy to see that you are not interested in getting to the inside of him. And it's almost the same thing back behind him. Like you know, we're talking about the 2 and the 56, but the 37 behind him, you know, and the 40, those 2 are doing the same thing. It is the exact same battle.
I mean, coming down 25 to go.
And possibly a pit stop. We're not sure.
Yeah, you know. I mean, 25 to go. I mean, at what point do you stop trying to make the pass and maybe, you know, get him up out of the groove a little bit? Maybe you have to use that bumper. I mean, we're talking a championship here. Obviously, you don't want to wreck him, but I mean, that's definitely not out of the question.
Yeah, I think that's going to, we got 25, we're still at least probably 24 laps away from trying to move somebody. Because, in real life, you can get to somebody's bumper and you can move them and not wreck them. Like, you can do that. On iRacing, with the net code and the way the sim stuff registers, like, sometimes you might get to somebody and barely touch them and it jack them all up and wreck them. When you're talking about people's connections and different things, it's a whole lot different than, actually being on a racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Hogan, I mean, do you even risk trying to move Tate out of the groove a little bit later in this race? Because if you end up wrecking Tate, that's an EOL for you.
I think for a championship, you got to try to get to him. Try to make it clean if you can. But I think for a championship, you kind of got to try to get, if it gets down to the white flag and you're this far back, you got to try to just move him or nudge him or surprise him with something. Do something to. You don't want to just sit in second and say, oh, I was faster, but I couldn't. You're going to try something if you're still sitting here in 25 laps. Right here, I think the 56 needs to just dive to the bottom. Make his spotter, talk to him. Make Tate's spotter get in his ear, and say, hey, Carlo, just another thing for Tate to think about. Right now, you're just kind of following him and trying to make him think you're going to go down there when you cut the dog leg, but we all know at this point that you're not.
And Fodey's trying to make this pass on Ethan. He got out of shape out of, this might be it right here. He might be able to get to the outside of the Ethan. Nope, not quite. 37 got real out of shape right here last lap out of turn 2.
I think if you're going to pit at this point, if you're one of the leaders, you're probably just doing 2.
Ooh, Ethan real out of shape getting to the brakes there. Fodey can't quite get there. He's too tight on these old tires.
Here we go. Is the 56 inside of him? Nope. I think he crashed the throttle down there.
It's so deceptive when they come through that dog leg. You think they're there, but they're not.
I get there and make his spotter talk to him. I think if I was Garrison, I'd be trying to get to that quarter panel every time in the 3. You're not going to lose anything. You can slide right back up behind him off of 4 or off of 2. But every time down to 1, I'd be making his spotter say that I was there, making that call.
And you're right, here's a great opportunity. You got lap cars. You don't know where they're going to go. This is where you might see Garrison be able to make this pass.
Garrison's going to get a great run here off the corner that Tate's not going to probably get. Tate actually managed that pretty good. He was able to get up the track.
Yeah, I think the 44 hurt the 56 more than he did the 2. It's like this 90's going to be the same way.
Oh, yeah.
Garrison had to get out of gas a little bit there.
Not what you wanted there if you're Garrison.
And, every time that happens, I mean, you just got to regroup and chase them back down a little bit, Lost a couple car lengths, so you just got to regroup.
Got Fodey inside the 37 again. See if he can't try to get the forward drive off to make that pass on the bottom. See, what Fodey's doing is what Garrison should be doing. Every chance you get, just get to his inside. Even if you know you're not going to make the pass. Get down there and make the spotter say something. Drive up there far enough, like, Fodey's been up far enough on Ethan where he's seen him.
We'll see if these lap cars have any effect on this battle here.
I think that's one reason you're seeing the 37 get so out of shape so much is, Fodey's getting there far enough where, Ethan knows, man, if he ever gets that forward drive on the bottom, like here it is, look at this, he dove down into 3.
Oh, a little contact.
Yeah, they're going to make contact.
Man, that could have been real bad. I thought Fodey was going to get hooked into the outside wall with a net code here. I'm sure Ethan's not too happy about getting used up right there.
I think that was Fodey, too, just being aggressive and saying, I can win this championship at this point, you can't. I think that's all that was. The 37's been holding him up, and I think that was just him saying, I'm quick enough to run down these 2, and you're not. You're sitting here holding me up.
Then you see the top 2 just driving off in front of you while you're trying to make the pass for 3rd, and you see your chances slowly driving away in front of you.
However, you know, if it stays green, okay, the 37 won't get back to you until next year. By then, Ethan's probably not going to try to send you because it was just contact. Nobody wrecked. It wasn't, you know, really intentional as far as getting together. Fodey was just trying to overdrive the corner and slide up in front of him. But if you get a yellow and you box him back up, then Ethan's, you know, going to be sitting there like, hey, you were willing to use me up for third spot, so.
Yeah,
Tate's
like,
kind of got some distance now, too, on the 56.
yeah, ever since those lap cars, it's brought him out a little bit. Garrison hasn't been able to close the gap back up, maintain about 3 to 4 tenths of a second.
There are, you know, more lap cars out in front of them. And the fuel situation, you know, we don't know how close that's going to be and if they can make it. We saw some guys decide to pit earlier, but not a whole lot have. So I'm back to the way of thinking they got enough to go to the end.
Yeah, I was checking on Tucker to see if he was saving gas or what his strategy was, but he's got right side damage now, so I don't know if he was saving gas or if his car is just too hurt. But Tate kind of stretching it out a little bit here on Garrison slowly. Laps closing down.
Oh, Garrison got down in there. Look at Garrison running the wall. I wasn't sure that was going to work, but it looks like he's going to get a decent drive off.
Yeah, it looks like he's been getting pretty tight, especially down here in 3 and 4. Looks like the 2 with Tate Lytle is able to get off the corner a little better and carry that speed down the back stretch, or the front stretch.
Garrison right back to that very high line down there. Yeah, I just think if Garrison would have gotten to his inside a few times to show him that he was willing to go down there and try to make that pass, that battle could have played out a little different. Oh, the 08's going to be right in front of Garrison here. Really didn't hurt him too bad. He was able to get the car cut down.
I was about to say this, you know, 8 to go, but, you know, this is far from over. All it takes is a slip from Tate or lap car to get in the way a little bit. And, you know, what's that, about 5 car lengths, Chris?
Yeah.
I think we saw Fodey send it from about this distance from last year, right? Last season?
About double this, I think.
Double? I don't know.
It wasn't in this series. We were talking about the Cup Series there. It was quite a ways. And a yellow, you know, a yellow, I would think you got to come get tires, but, I mean, if I'm Ethan Burrell in 4th, do you just stay out? I don't know. A yellow would change everything. Honestly, I think if a yellow comes out, if I'm Ethan Burrell, I take 2. I think if I'm the 2 in the 56, I take 4. If I'm Burrell, I take 2. If I'm the 40, man, I don't know. Might take 2 if I'm the 40 as well.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, at that point, you know, you're running 3rd or 4th in the championship. Might as well do something a little different. Try to maybe catch a string of cautions or something at the end and steal it, you know. Do something different, because you're probably not going to get out of pit road before them if you do the same thing.
Oh, yeah, if I'm Ethan Burrell, I take 2 all day if a caution comes out at this point. But to be able to do that, you got to... Oh, and they're wrecking down the front stretch right in front of Ethan Burrell. It was 2 lappers.
Oh, man, yeah, who was that? 32, Dustin Dewar. The 8, of Mark Keeler.
Now we got us a show. Man.
See it right in front of Ethan Burrell.
Now we got us a show.
Man, yeah. What do you do here? I mean, I think you're right. I think if you're the Ethan Burrell, I think you gotta consider at least taking two. Give yourself a shot because starting fourth or fifth or wherever you come out of the pits, you probably won't have a shot.
Oh yeah, if I'm Ethan Burrell, I'm taking two all day. I'm taking two, and that's it. If I'm Tate Lytle, I'm taking four.
We got people staying out.
I think it's lappers.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, gonna say, gonna question that decision.
I take two if I'm, or I take two if I'm Ethan. I take four if I'm the 56. I take four if I'm the two. In the 40, I kind of flip a coin.
We'll see.
If I'm Fodey, you know what? I haven't been able to outrun those guys all night. I take two as well.
Yeah, just no mistakes here. Don't speed. This is the most important stop of the season. To see who can get it done here. We saw Tate's crew get it done a couple weeks ago in the Cup Series at Dover. So if they're able to do it again here,
It's four for everybody.
I'm pretty surprised at that. Oh,
There is no way if I was Ethan Burrell, I would have taken four right there. I think like you, man, I would have put myself out in the lead and made him pass me. And I know the lefts are worn. I know they went a long way, but I mean, I think you're basically conceding your chance at the championship by taking that.
especially because you never know. I mean, you could have guys start wrecking on the restarts. You might catch some cautions and end up in victory lane.
And as loose as these guys take off on four. All these guys take off pretty free on four, so two might have taken off a little better, and you're only going to have a green-white checkered. I'm very shocked by those guys not taking two tires.
But I mean, Fodey's going to be in the best position he's been all night. It's going to be first car on the inside. I'm assuming Tate's going to take the inside here. But he's going to be right behind Tate, so should be able to get a great start.
I'm just shocked that Ethan didn't take two.
This is going to be pretty exciting to close out the Days Gone By championship race, huh, Chris?
Oh yeah, we got to, like I said when the caution came out, we got a show now, but I just, you were already fourth, and by restarting fourth, you're basically saying I'm not going to have a shot to win this title. I'm not even going to put myself out front, like I just think Ethan's really good. Two tires, I understand, are a disadvantage over four, but the way the cars take off, a little free, people can't quite get the power down. Having two hot lefts would be good, I think, and you're Ethan Burrell. You're really good. You can be really hard to pass for a lap and a half or two. That's all you would need.
Here we go. Tate's going to take him down the long bad stretch here, all the way down in the restart zone. We got 3 attempts at green-white checkers, so we'll see how many we got to use.
Yep, here we go, down into turn number 3. Dead even. Little touch, and the 2's off. Good
Great start.
Oh, contact there between the 56 and the 40.
Yeah, Hogan might have came down a little bit on Tyler Fodey there. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's going to be a call, but probably not.
I don't think it should be. I think that should be clean. That was just two guys getting together on the restart. I don't think the 56 had any intention of trying to come down. 56 dives back inside of Fodey. Going to have a little more contact.
Man,
that might have just won the championship for Tate, because I don't think Fodey's close enough to take a dive.
I don't know how he didn't turn Tyler Fodey down there, because there was contact in the left rear, and I think any other day of the week that probably would have sent that car around.
And here we come. Tate Lytle dominated this race at Phoenix.
Yeah, pretty much
Even
led
with the
flag to
late,
flag.
yeah, even with the late restart and the late drama, he's going to win the race and the championship. Fodey second, Garrison third, and Ethan Burrell fourth. Vincent Isabella is the highest non-Champ 4 driver in fifth. Tooker, Dylan Thomas, Gerald Campbell, Wyatt Nadel, and Hank Steinmiller are the top 10.
But yeah, how about Tate? You know, like we mentioned before the race, he came in here and talked to us last week. Said he wasn't going to be very good tonight. Probably the worst of the four.
Yeah, what a sandbagger.
Yeah, then he goes out and pretty much leads flag to flag tonight.
Yep, and I think if I'm Ethan Burrell sitting there, I finish fourth. I'm sitting here thinking, what if? I'm thinking, what if I would have taken two and just put myself out front and made him have to pass me?
But our championship four finishing 1 through 4, so no mistakes by any of those guys. Garrison Hogan's able to overcome starting 22nd, drive up there and finish second, almost win the championship, or third, sorry, almost win the championship.
Yeah, and what a coincidence. The Dayz Gone By championship race is won by the driver sponsored by Dayz Gone By.
And maybe that car, check to make sure that car is legal here post race.
So Dayz Gone By championship race won by Tate Lytle. SMRI Productions Grand National Series. What a season. What a season. Tate leveled with us, a few weeks ago and said, this season hasn't gone quite like he wanted. They did enough to get into the playoffs, but he had a lot of bad luck, caught up in a lot of stuff in the regular season. But when the playoffs started, they turned it on. He had a great playoff. And then tonight, I mean, he basically stomped him. I think the 56 might have been faster, but you just can't, he just couldn't make the pass and the qualifying. I think another thing on the 56 I go back and look at is the qualifying. You got to qualify better, and put yourself up there with them guys. But yeah, I just want to shout out all the sponsors here. Elite Network, we typically have Ryan in here with us, but tonight we had David. David did a great job. He had to step up for us a couple times this season. Can't wait to get Ryan back though. He's the guy that's in here every week. All of Elite Racing Network, all across all the series and the new series that are starting. We got the F1 series starting there in January. Everybody at C2 Freight, Blue Egg Marketing, Response Energy, they all help make this thing happen. Chad Frankenfield, he runs an elite race, I think, every night of the week. Can't wait to talk to Tate, though. What a championship. What a season. And what a finish tonight. Fodey getting second, Garrison third. Our championship 4, 1 through 4, Nick. Do you think that was going to happen?
Yeah, I think so. I think, this is probably the most stacked championship for, any of the leagues I've done. I think this is probably one of the most stacked I've seen. So, it was going to take being a perfect race, and I don't think any of them had any mistakes tonight.
Yeah, we want to thank the people that watch us every week, too. Bringing us into your homes and checking it out here. As we just, we really enjoy this stuff on iRacing, and we're glad that other people enjoy it enough for us to have to put on a broadcast and people to tune in to watch drivers like Tate Lytle, Ethan Burrell, Garrison Hogan, Tyler Fodey come in here every week and race. I think Tate's looking for victory lane, but he can't find it. Oh, I think he found it. Looky there, Parker right in victory lane. Blow it up too.
But we'll see if we're able to bring up some of our championship finishers here. Top 3, top 4.
What a season, Nick. We came on, partway through. We weren't here at the very start, but what a season that we got to witness here in Elite in the SMRI Productions Grand National Series. Can't wait to come back and do it again next season. Be there from the drop.
We'll see if there we go.
Oh, I think we're going to kick it off tonight with our champion and race winner, Tate Lytle. Tate, you came up here last week, told us you were going to be fourth and you were going to be very good. Well, then you came out here tonight and you put an ass whooping on them. Take us through your night and what you were thinking when the 56 was all over you there for about 20, 25 laps.
I didn't know we were allowed to say ass on this, but we'll kick it off there. Yeah. No, I mean, it isn't my favorite track, but it was all part of the mind game. I mean, they were definitely sleeping on me a little bit going into tonight, and yeah, we took advantage of it. I don't know if we led every lap, but I felt like we led every lap, so it was quite the race. Kind of cool to do it at Phoenix too. I've been to 4 races, and 3 of them have been at Phoenix, so it's cool to. It kind of feels like I drove into victory lane that I've been in before, so that's kind of cool for us West Coasters that don't really know what most of these tracks look like. But I never envisioned me being the champion of this series this year. It wasn't the most consistent of regular seasons, but we turned it on the last 4 weeks, never finishing outside of second. So, yeah, I just got to thank Brent Wentz. Days gone by. I'm sure he's listening. My dad's watching. I don't know if he watched the whole race, but he at least saw the end of it because he was able to shoot me a text message. So shout out to him for paying attention. Yeah, how about that? That was quite the race. And I never thought, I was telling Garrison, I was like, I never thought I'd have to race a 56 car for anything because that's my normal number. And I thought maybe sponsoring his seat for this season was going to backfire there with about 30 to go. But I just turned the mirror off and tried to hit my marks, and we were able to drive away. And then that caution came out, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen. We were able to get a good restart, and they started racing behind us. So, yeah, super pumped. First championship I've ever had. I've been racing on iRacing for off and on for 10 years. Not the whole time, but off and on for 10 years. The first time I ever won a championship, so pretty neat. Hopefully we can double down on Wednesday. I know you guys will have something to say about that, but yeah, super cool to be a champion, man.
Yeah, congrats, man. You know, like Chris said, we talked to you last week, and you said you were probably going to run 4th out of this group, and you go out there and pretty much lead flag to flag. But yeah, hopefully we can have something to say to prevent you from winning 2 of them on Wednesday night. But yeah, man. I mean, did you think anybody was going to take 2 on that last stop? Me and Chris were kind of surprised that Ethan or maybe even Fodey didn't maybe roll the dice there and take 2. Did you think that was a possibility?
I was waiting for someone to do it. I knew that wasn't my strategy call because of just kind of where my race was. I felt like I could beat them on speed anyway if they took 2. But I took a little fuel out of it there that last stop. It's a little loose those first two or 3 laps, and took some fuel out of it to snug it up, and we were able to get through that first corner pretty clean. We got a great jump on them. I kind of like actually having to go in the restart zone. It's not quite as big of a window, and it's a little more fun to try and guess where that guy's going to go. Garrison and Tucker both were able to time him pretty good a couple times, so I don't know if we can do that for most tracks, but that was a lot more fun to do. But yeah, that's just what a race. I did not see myself winning the whole thing. I didn't see myself being the fastest necessarily, but yeah, they were. I kind of felt like at least 2 of those guys were sleeping on me a little bit, and one of them knows me pretty well. I think he kind of called the bluff from the start, but yeah, Phoenix, how about it? Winners.
Yeah, we were shocked up here. I was shocked. I don't know how shocked Nick. If I was Ethan Burrell there being 4th, I would have taken 2 and made you pass me. I mean, I feel like that was his only shot, is to take 2 and try to get in front of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, and who knows? I mean, if Garrison gets a good start and he's side by side, I'm probably throwing a dive bomb into 1 and 2, and who knows what happens. I mean, we've seen it before with that 40 car behind you. You never know what's going to happen. So I was glad that Garrison was able to race him a little bit and give me just enough breathing room those last couple corners to not worry about a dive bomb. And yeah, we were able to come out the other end, and we blew up the engine, and I think we got hit by about 20 cars after the race. So that felt kind of good to know that at least that many guys respect you out on track. And yeah, I gotta get out of here though. I got dinner at Mom's waiting for me. It's probably gonna be super good. So, in a great mood, obviously. So, but thank you guys for calling the race. I know it takes a lot of patience to call an hour and a half of fake race car racing. So, props to y'all, and we'll see you Wednesday night.
Well, all right, Tate, we'll let you get out of here. Any sponsors you want to shout out on your way out?
Yeah, I already shouted out Brett Wentz. Days gone by. Check out his Etsy page. Got a lot of cool stuff on there. I know I spent way too much money on there. Belly Up Sports for being on the hood of the car this season. Technically a Belly Up Racing entry, even though it really didn't feel like it. But yeah, who knew? All I had to do to win a championship was get out of a Toyota. So maybe we can get one on Wednesday and make sure that's not a thing.
Well, all right, Tate. Thanks for coming up here and talking to us. Congrats on your championship. Going for 2. Going to race again in the Cup Series on Wednesday night. And those 4. So come back on Wednesday and maybe you'll win too.
Hopefully. Ha ha, Fodey.
And now, as you heard there, we are now joined by Tyler Fodey, P2 in the championship and the race. Take us through your night, Fodey, and obviously that last restart, that last caution gave you a shot there at it, and take us through what you needed to pass Tate there at the end.
I needed Garrison to not dive it in on me. That's pretty much what it came down to. I mean, we lucked into that spot to begin with, but yeah, I think if I get a clear shot through 3 and 4 without Garrison up the inside, I'm close enough the last lap to at least try something. But at the end of the day, though, Tate was class of the field. I think he led every single lap, but I mean, well deserved from start to finish. He showed up when it mattered. He's been there pretty much all last round. I think he was second every single round, so it was only a matter of time. But yeah, just tough that the championship has to be at this track, because probably one of my worst. But no, I mean, we gave it everything we had. Rode around there pretty much fighting for third with Ethan by the time the long run was all said and done. And yeah, like I said, got lucky with the restart to slot in there when we did, and yeah, gave it everything we had. So I'll take second, and hopefully come back here and be one spot better next year.
Yeah, man, great run. I mean, we mentioned before the race, it's probably the most stacked championship 4 that we've ever seen, you know, in the leagues that we've ran. So, you know, we knew it was probably going to take a perfect race to win the thing. And, I mean, you guys finished 1 through 4, so pretty insane. But anybody you want to shout out and thank for before next season?
Yeah, all the Lake Norman guys, of course, for showing up and running tonight. Days Gone By for being on the car, Blue Egg Marketing, you guys too for putting on awesome broadcasts every week. I also got to shout out everyone that I was competing against tonight and the rest of the Final 4. I think this is probably the most competitive and close title fight we've had as far as everyone being together pretty much the whole night. So I'm sure it put on a great show coming to the end there. And yeah, congrats to Tate. He deserves it.
Yeah, and just to put a bow on your year, you know, you won the A season championship and finished second in this one, so it's been a pretty good year. And you're talking about being 1 spot better. You know, to have a down year, you know, like this B season has been pretty down for you. I think your average finish dropped to 4th or 5th instead of the, what was it, 1.8 in the A season. You know,
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
but a great run, man. It was a great finish tonight, and I want to ask you, because obviously we're not going to talk to Ethan tonight since he wasn't top 3. Was there any thought about 2 tires there on that last stop and just making them have to pass you, knowing how free the car took off on tires?
I mean, it crossed my mind. I had guys up on the box there saying I should try it, but that thing got so loose after just 10 laps on 4 tires, and I think we had done, I don't know, 50 something. I don't know how long it was. And the left sides were down 10, 15%. To strap right sides on it, I mean, that thing was going to be spinning out the first corner, and we were just going to be swamped. So, I mean, it crossed my mind, but at the end of the day, it was just, that was going to be a shot in the dark. So, I mean, we still had a shot with the 4 tires. Had Garrison not dived it in, we would have had a little better shot, but we got the best we could have hoped for.
Well, all right then, Tyler. We'll let you go, and we'll see you next season. Nick and I are coming back. Can't wait to get a full season next time. We've had a lot of fun broadcasting these races and couldn't do it without the great racing that you guys put on. So come back and talk to us in January.
Yeah, plan on it.
Now we're joined by our third place finisher and the guy that we thought maybe had the best car tonight, just couldn't pass the leader, Garrison Hogan. Uh, Great season, great chase there. Take us through your night and what you needed to make that pass there during the middle of that long run on Tate.
Well, honestly, a clean car. 21, 22 seconds of damage is not gonna allow you to pass a guy like Tate. You have to hit your marks. You have to be perfect with everything, and you know, the car had the speed, the driver had the speed, but the driver made dumb mistakes here and there in the race, and it started before that. It started in qualifying. I had the pace to run the pole easily. Easily was going to run a 3, and I just didn't get to the line in time. So that track position kills you at a track like that. And Tate, and just watching him drive the race the way he did, it was masterful. It was beautiful to see. Like he did his job. He did it well. He kept his tires underneath the car, and it was hard to pass him.
Yeah, we were wondering what happened to you in qualifying there. Starting 22nd, I think it was, but impressive drive back up there. Finished, second. The whole championship 4 finished 1 through 4. We talked about it multiple times throughout the race. How stacked this championship 4 was. How tough it was going to be to win this thing, and you almost did. I mean, you were working on Tate there, and looked like you were trying to get to his outside, maybe in 1 and 2, but just couldn't quite get it done. Was there any thought about playing some strategy at any point in the race, like maybe taking 2 on that last stop? I know you're running second, so.
To be honest with you, no. I knew I had the pure pace, and as soon as I hit the wall, middle of the race, somewhere in there, I knew it was over with. I'd rather run second to him, just me driving my ass off to keep in front of everyone else, than for me to, I guess, finish fourth. It's a pride thing at that point. So, yeah, making dumb mistakes doesn't help all night. If I would have did my job from the beginning and just been smart about it, I would have been up front. I would have had the track position, and I mean, I had the pace, I think, to pull away. But it didn't work out that way. Tate did a great job all season. Tyler Fodey as well. Both have great speed. To see the gains from them all year, it was crazy. Ethan as well. I know he had a name on the right side of the door. I couldn't quite tell that was riding with him, but something to fight for in that race as well. He's also on new equipment, so he fought his heart out as well. Good season by all of these guys.
Yeah, and don't beat yourself up too hard, Garrison. Everybody's gonna get out there and get the wall, especially in a race like this where you're driving hard. And don't tell him I told you, but we saw Tate hit the wall once or twice tonight too, just driving right out to it. So in these races, that's what it comes down to sometimes. Is just trying to find that line without hurting the race car. And like you said, Tate did a great job of defending when you were there in second, and just didn't leave you really much of a lane unless you wanted to try to drive to the bottom. But anybody you want to thank tonight and for the season and in general?
Yeah, Pro Edge, they were great friends from PlayStation days. Like this is years ago when we were kids, and now I'm 26, and we kind of all grown up and everything together, and it's crazy to see their growth on iRacing, and uh, I just love those guys, so I always can be thankful for them for even bringing me into the league and me just coming in and having some fun. Other than that, JD Designs, I know we need to promote this guy. John is a great painter, and I think he's going to do some great things in the future. So please hit him up if you can. I know he definitely has a Twitter page, so JD Designs, go follow him. Other than that, you guys for broadcasting the race, and thank you, Chad and others. I believe Ethan as well for putting on the league too. So thank you guys.
Well, all right, Garrison, congrats on the season. Congrats on the P3 tonight, and come back and see us. Nick and I are going to come back next season. So we look forward to talking to you again in January.
Yes, sir. I'll be seeing y'all.
All right, now we're joined by the man who makes it all happen here in Elite. Chad Frankenfield is now with us in the booth. What do you got to say tonight, Chad? Looked like a little rough night for you.
Yeah, I wasn't really worried. I was just trying to have some fun, and I got damaged. But the new Phoenix is really really fun to drive on. So I was fun having battles in the back, but I was always keep my eye on the championship fight. So, but yeah, I mean it was a heck of a race from what I saw. I mean, even though Tate was in a position to basically dominate, I don't think we had another leader. Um, I think we still saw a really good race because the championship fight was always there. And then obviously that last restart. But I want to just give SMRI Productions a shout out. They've been with us all year. Next year we'll be with Mrs. Goody's Goodies for the Grand National Series, which is awesome. I want to thank Old Testament Firearms for our Truck Series, JoiningPS.com Cup, Mega Driver 86 IndyCar. I want to thank C2 Freight, Blue Egg Marketing, Response Energy, our premier partners. I want to thank our Elite Racing Network. You guys have been awesome. Obviously, we've had our share of bugs throughout the year, but I think that's going to happen with a first-year broadcasting network. And I'm looking forward to the off season. I think it's something we all really need and wanted. I think we're over about 130 races or nights of racing this year. So, I just want to thank everybody, and then I'm just glad the race was good. I mean, it was a good finish, and the championship 4 there. I'm not gonna lie, made me a little nervous having those guys together, but obviously it all worked out.
Yeah, and like you said, Tate led all those laps tonight, but most of those laps he led by, just a car length. He had the 56 on him that whole second half of that long green run there towards the end. So it was a great battle. Just the lead never changed.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking too. Is I like I said, I was following it on my timing and scoring, and looked like the battle was good. And then I think it just shows the respect those guys had for each other up front too. I mean, and I also don't know if watching the replay, I think Tate's restart was so good. I don't think anybody really had a shot at him, even to try to do a crazy dive bomb. So, but yeah, thank you again. The Wednesday is our premier series. That's our big series, our biggest race of the year outside of our special events. Um, JoiningPS.com Cup Series, Days Gone By Vintage Apparel Championship race. Chris Wright, Nick Massey, Tate Lytle's back for another championship. I freaking edited. I have an event guide that I got to retype now because he already has a championship and something in elite, so he's going for 2. And then Alexander Van de Center, our IndyCar champion. So good luck to you Wednesday, Chris. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to Wednesday. I think with the package at Homestead is going to be wild. But yeah, I'm just really happy with the Xfinity Series this year, and looking forward to next season.
Yeah, and you didn't plug it, so I will. I don't think I've plugged it tonight. That new F1 series that you're starting up, I think it's going to take off and be really good. I'm really excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. It's one of those things where I've had my plate full already with our 4 series, and guys have been asking for a while to add a road racing series, and I think the F1 car was a good opportunity to do that. Although it's the Ultimate Motorsport Series, the cars really aren't that hard to drive, and I think that's been interesting to see a lot of guys that don't like road racing are just going to run it because they want to have fun. But a first year series, we're going to fire off January 16th with the NASCAR RPG Wisconsin Grand Prix. It's going to be interesting to see because we're going to have probably close to 50 plus entries, and only 32 are going to start the Grand Prix. So that series is going to be automatically off the bat a huge series. So yeah, like I said, it's going to be an exciting 2022. For the first time ever, we're actually going to have a legitimate off season this year. We don't have another race after Wednesday until January 16th. So, and then after that, we have another 2 weeks off to the Clash. So, I'm excited. Hopefully, we could see you maybe get in on the Clash. I know you're taking a season off to be in the booth, but I'd love to see you get in the Clash with those super late models. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Well, I can't wait. You're talking about the Clash. I really, if you need some broadcast help, me and Nick are available for some F1 stuff. Like, I think that's going to be very exciting. A bunch of guys who haven't driven that car outside of, just some practice laps. I think that those first 2-3 races, especially, are going to be very exciting in that F1 series.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's going to be really exciting to see what that series with tire strategies and everything that's going to go into that. That's going to be a full distance series, but that was something that we kind of decided on just because F1 races aren't really that long anyway. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a really good year. But again, I want to congratulate Tate Lytle. He's been one of our iRacing originals. He's been with us almost since like day one. So to see him come out and finally get a championship. I mean, it's so weird to think of Tate not having a championship from all the sim leagues he's done. I mean, I think he said it's been 10 years since he's won something. So to see him break through the Mark Martin bubble there to get a championship is really awesome. And I wouldn't bet against him on Wednesday, but of course I wouldn't bet against any of those guys. I mean, you, Nick, Alexander, you guys it's going to be fun to watch. So.
Yeah, just sitting here, I want to congratulate all our champions. We had Alex win the IndyCar stuff. We had Bronson Stafford in the trucks. Now we've had Tate here. Nick and I are the only ones in the championship 4 on Wednesday night who haven't won a championship this week.
Yeah, that's what's wild coming into that, and that's the other thing too is all 4 drivers have never won a Cup championship. So obviously the Xfinity Championship, our B class is obviously really special. But our Premier Cup Series, that's where it's at. I mean, that's the big money, big money championship as well. So our winner is going to get $400 on Wednesday. And thanks to our drivers and our sponsors, next year our purse is going to be over $1,000 more than 2021. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really awesome year next year. I'm really looking forward to it. But we got one more big race Wednesday, and like I said, I think it's going to be a wild one. I tested some laps. I think it's going to be similar to what we've seen on the mile and a half, but I think the fall off's a little bit more, and there's definitely more lifting. So it should be a pretty good race for sure.
Well, we're looking forward to that. So everybody come back and tune in for our last race of the season there on Wednesday and watch myself and Nick and Alex and Tate, all of us going for a championship out there in the Cup car. I want to give a shout out to everybody
Yeah.
who tuned in tonight. Oh, you got something else to say, Chad? Sorry, I was going to wrap it up.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Alec Balvans. He's been our off track on Mondays for 2 years, and he needs a break from it, so he's taking next year off, and probably for the foreseeable future. So, but we got Cody Harrington going to come on and off track next season on Mondays. I want to thank Ethan Reasoner for off tracking on Wednesdays and Fridays, and then the occasional Sundays that I can't get to. So, but yeah, I'm gonna head out again. Thank everybody for tuning in, and make sure you guys tune in Wednesday at 9:00 or 8:30 Eastern on the Elite Racing Network. It's gonna be a really epic race, and yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be. I don't see it being as clean as tonight. Let's put it that way. I think we're gonna see some fireworks Wednesday. So
I hope not. I don't want to be wrecking with anybody out there.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, like I said, it's gonna be a pretty interesting race. It's gonna be an interesting one. I think it's been a pack heavy mile and a half schedule. But as far as what the cars are acting like, I think it's gonna be pack heavy. But we'll see. And the positive note to that as well. I know this is going on a little bit long, but with NASCAR going to 670, I mean, we're gonna get some horsepower back next season. So I think that should also be a good thing for our drivers because we're gonna be able to lift now, and it's gonna be awesome. So again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, and if that thing goes back to 670, the 4-inch, I might get back in the Cup Series if that happens. I just have not enjoyed the racing that we've had to do. But I will say this, to get into the Final Four in the Cup Series, I mean, if anybody watched Texas there, or Charlotte, excuse me, it looked like Scott Crump was going to get in about 75 feet before the line, and him and Jared ended up not getting in, and that's what got Alex in.
Yeah, I mean, that was a wild race. You had a situation where you had basically 5 drivers going for one spot, and all within 3 points, and I was one of them. And I mean, I had almost 2 minutes of damage, and all of a sudden there's 30 laps to go, 25 laps to go, and I'm restarting third, and I got my way up there. So it's a wild race, wild package, and yeah, I mean, like I said, it should be interesting because there's definitely some lifting right off the bat. On you really can't do flat, so. I think that's what drivers want. They want to be able to use the throttle and adjust and do things like that. So it should be interesting, and yeah, should be exciting.
Well, alrighty then, Chad. Before I wrap this up, is there anybody else you want to shout out here for the league? We know we saw today that Mrs. Goodies is going to be coming on board next season. This is our last race with SMRI.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again to MSRM Productions for coming on board for this year. I mean, we with our series, we get commitments for the whole year. So for them to commit the whole year, and then next year, like I said, it's going to be Mrs. Goodies, which is it's going to be an awesome name for our Grand National Series. Our team, our series colors is going to be funny. And then on the truck side, we have Dixon's Barbecue, Smoke Barbecue coming on board for the trucks. So thank you to Tyler Dixon for that. And then Joint APS is returning for a 6th year of sponsoring the Elite Racing League. They've been with us since our PlayStation days. At Mega Driver 86 is returning for another season in IndyCar, and then Shane Demontova Designs is our inaugural sponsor for our first season in F1. So we're very lucky to have great partners, and it makes all this happen. It makes us where we can put on good shows, and and then, like I said last, I just want to thank Elite Racing Network, and again, I want to thank everybody, the crew, for putting on. I know it's at this point of the year, everybody's kind of just iRacing'd out, but we just got to hold together one more race.
Yeah, and you're not going to pat yourself on the back, so I will. None of this happens without you, and you run a league every night of the week now, it seems like. It's the schedule that you have to keep up with. I would not want your schedule with the full-time job and then running league stuff every night, so we want to say thank you to you and everything that you do to help us, get out here and race on these racetracks, these virtual racetracks, and have fun doing it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And like I said, I couldn't do without all our great partners and great people involved. And it's fun. It's very exciting. And but I think we can all agree a nice off season is definitely warranted. And I'm looking forward to next season again already. I mean, we're rolling into next season. Our entry lists are going to be packed. The depth is just insane. Our Cup Series, we have all 3 Rookie of the Year competitors are moving up the Cup. I mean, it's going to be really good, and I'm looking forward to it, and sprinkle in some appearances from some professional drivers, and like I said, it's going to be a great time. So, but again, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Alrighty, Chad, we'll talk to you next time. And as for all of you at home who tune in and watch us every week, you won't see us for a little while, but we'll be back in action, I guess, about the middle part of January. So come back and see us then. Congrats to Tate Lytle winning tonight. Great championship battle. Our championship 4 all stayed out of trouble and finished 1 through 4. So great race. We had a yellow at the end to dice it up. Come back and see us next season. It was a great season this